Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, Prime Minister Skerrit says 2020 and COVID-19 hold lessons for Dominica as we reset personal and national goals. Red Cross recognizes the engine and backbone of the organization with a Staff and Volunteers Award ceremony. And the Cuban scholarship recipients told to value the Republic of Cuba's consistent investment in Dominica's human resource. The details of the news coming up.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
The tone of Prime Minister Skerrit's 2020 Christmas message is one which clearly reflects the impact of COVID-19 on this country and the wider world. The Prime Minister says while the pandemic has made 2020 a challenging year, we should not miss the lessons.
Dear fellow citizens, for people all over the world, Christians and non-Christians alike, the Christmas season is a very special time of year. But this Christmas will be no previous Christmas in our lifetimes. Church pews will not be packed. Those who attend Mass will be physically distanced. Choirs and congregations will not join in lusty singing of much-loved hymns and carols. The majority of worshippers will bounce elbows rather than warmly hug and embrace. Parties, staff, and large family gatherings will be limited. Seasonal celebrations will be small, muted, or conducted via the technology. This will be the year of the COVID Christmas, and everything will be radically different from what we are accustomed. Instead of lamenting these differences and challenges, I invite you to join with me in learning the lessons that COVID-19 is teaching us. Perhaps COVID is also calling for us to create a kinder, more caring country and world. Perhaps it should motivate us to construct a world that is more respectful of Mother Earth and the family of humanity. To build countries and communities in which we spend more time caring for and sharing with those whom we love, where we see everyone as our neighbor and we look out for each other. Perhaps it is reminding us that it is not expensive gifts that are the most valuable, but the gifts of time and attention, thoughtful gestures, given and received with kindness and love. Whatever the global circumstances caused by COVID, I give you the assurance that at the national level, we will work together, government and citizens, to build a shared prosperity.
The Prime Minister says the challenges and disruptions caused by COVID-19 can be overcome if we work together to reset our objectives.
Together, we will ensure that Dominica becomes a beacon of resilience, showing that small size is not a bar to exceptionalism and success. We can ensure that no child or senior goes to sleep hungry, that our people live in plenty rather than in poverty, that our country is characterized by opportunity, hope, and the fulfillment of personal dreams and national objectives. We don't often think of it in this way, but the story of Mary, Joseph, and the birth of Christ is about disruption, challenge, change, the struggle to cope with unexpected circumstances, and ultimately about resilience and faith. Think about it for a moment. A young girl is engaged to an older man. They dream and plan for their future. Then Mary is told by an angel that she will get pregnant before the marriage, and the child would not be Joseph's. He has to be persuaded that Mary is still a virgin. The couple had not planned for this. They did not create or want these circumstances, but they had to deal with them. Just when they were trying to adapt to these disruptions and changes, they went to pay their taxes, but were unable to find any room in the inns. As a result, their baby is born in a stable and is placed in a feeding trough for the animals. Joseph and Mary were forced to come to grips with a future that was radically different from that which they had hoped for, envisaged, and planned. They did so by placing their faith in the message of God and the hope their son would bring to the world. Christmas and the New Year are traditionally the time when many of us make conscious and deliberate resolutions that are intended to be transformational. Over the course of the last few weeks, I have been encouraging Dominicans at home and abroad to focus on these themes: reset, reflect, recommit, and renew. COVID has pressed the reset button for people all over the world. It is now up to us to reflect on the lessons of 2020, recommit to a path forward and upward, and then renew our efforts to achieve personal and national objectives.
Red Cross volunteers were in the spotlight last week when the organization recognized the contribution that these individuals make to its success. Director General Sandra Charter-Rule noted the crucial role the volunteers played in the operations and achievements of the Dominica Red Cross in a challenging year.
It is a time of the year when we want to give back to our volunteers and staff who have worked tirelessly throughout the year to ensure that our programs and our activities have been implemented successfully. We know our volunteers are the backbone of the national societies. Without our volunteers, we would not be successful at what we have been doing and what we are doing in our communities. And we really want to say thanks to them because they are volunteering their time. It is not every day you get people to volunteer their time willingly and without any expectation of gain, and that's what volunteering is all about. So we want to say thank you, particularly this year with all the challenges that we have been faced with the COVID pandemic. Our work did not end. We still had to continue assisting the vulnerable ones in our communities. We were able to provide over 500 families with food vouchers, with food packages and hygiene kits. We also assisted those in the government quarantine with food packages and hygiene kits also. And this was done all in the effort of our dedicated and committed volunteers and staff members. So we were able to continue the work of the Dominica Red Cross. So I want to say thank you, and we are happy to have you with us. We want to continue to ensure that the Red Cross remains relevant and very strong in our communities. And with your help, with your assistance, with your skills, we will continue to do so.
While Mrs. Rull refers to the volunteers as the backbone of the organization, President Reginald Winston sees them as its engine.
My recollection of the Red Cross growing up was a group of elderly, mainly ladies, attending to people who had fallen sick at parades and events like that. Today, our Red Cross is proud to acknowledge that we not only still continue the original, helping the wounded, taking care of people who fall sick at parades, but we have expanded into our communities. in providing for humanity, which is one of our fundamental principles, providing for those who are in need, educating the public against disease, and in essence preventing disease before it comes and arresting it when it does come, providing services like WASH, providing services like drum proofing, stopping vector control. And all of this is done through what I like to call the engine of the movement, our volunteers. It is the volunteers who keeps that movement moving.
La Plaine received the Branch of the Year award. The Volunteer of the Year award went to Nicola James of the Marigot branch. Fire Lander was recognized for his exemplary leadership among youth within and outside Red Cross and for his tireless dedication and support to the National Red Cross Society. Ken Leslie received the Staff of the Year award, while the Health and Safety award went to Joanna Pear of the Goodwill branch. Sylvester John Baptist was recognized for going beyond the call of duty to ensure the organization's success. Dante Moses was awarded for representing Dominica as a regional delegate in the organization's cash transfer program. Minister for Education Octavia Alfred has reminded recipients of Cuban scholarships of the need to appreciate the continued investment in the development of Dominica's human resources. The minister said government remains extremely grateful for this gesture of friendship and goodwill and looks forward to continued positive relations with the government and people of Cuba.
I must underscore how important this gift is, this gift of education, because in an age of advancing knowledge and unprecedented advancements in technology, a learned people, that's imperative for individual development and for economic growth and sustainability. In an age when we are challenged by successive disasters and now a pandemic, it becomes even more urgent to empower our youth with new skills and new knowledge to take them on the challenge of their world. Education remains a major priority as we seek to elevate the lives of our people. Therefore, the continued investment of the Cuban government in our people and in the development of our human resource must be acknowledged and highly commended.
Alfred also acknowledged Cuba's consistent assistance in areas beyond human resource development.
Cuba, we know, has played a significant role in the advancement of our people in ways that are broader than education. Just this year, the country benefited from the expertise of hardworking Cuban health personnel who assisted us in the fight against COVID-19, and we will forever remain grateful for this timely intervention. We also received assistance from Cuban workers in the construction of the Salisbury Primary School, which officially opened its doors in October. The consistent assistance of the Cuban government and people of Dominica to execute our programs in various sectors have proven invaluable, and we remain grateful. This year, we are benefiting from 10 scholarships and will be having 6 in medical fields, 1 in agronomy, 1 in architecture, 1 in electrical engineering, and 1 postgraduate in internal medicine.
You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, a new COVID-19 strain in the UK shows up in Australia.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Minister with responsibility for youth affairs, Dr. Addis King, has challenged recipients of Cuban scholarships to maximize their time in Cuba. Dr. King herself, an alumni of Cuban Medical School, attended a ceremony last week where 10 Dominicans were awarded Cuban scholarships.
I want to congratulate the students who was chosen. I am sure that it took a lot of work to decide who we should choose. Special congratulations to Dr. Challenger, since she will be pursuing studies in my field. I want to, at this time, offer my services in whatever way that I can. I know you will do well. To the other students, remember, you have been given an opportunity of a lifetime. You will learn from the best culture of the world. You might not know it, but Spanish might be the best language that you will come across. But not just that. The Cuban people are very diverse. They're very passionate about their art, their history, and they're very passionate about assisting the less fortunate. And one of the background of the Dominican Labour Party government is all shall eat. As minister who is mostly responsible not just for the youth and not just for the development and empowerment of youth, but also for the most vulnerable around us, I kind of happy to be given that opportunity because I learned very early while studying in Cuba that is the less fortunate among us that matters the most. Remember that.
Dr. King urged students to develop a sense of appreciation for the generosity of the Cuban government and people.
A lot of us and a lot of you would not have the opportunity to study abroad for lack of finances. The Cuban government, and that was started by, may his soul rest in peace, Dr. Fidel Castro, who loved everybody in the world. He doesn't only give scholarship to Dominica or the Caribbean or Africa. They give services to all over the world. So you will meet a lot of people from a lot of countries you didn't even know existed. And you will wonder, but that country exists? But yes, it does. And that's how far-reaching the Cuban heart is. They give scholarships, they give medical services, and any other services that are needed right across the world. And as students going out there, open out your heart. Welcome people into your heart. A lot of people might tell you negative things, but I tell you, living in Cuba is one of the best experiences I've had, and you will see what I mean when you get there. When you reach, you might, like anybody else, be exposed to things that you never were before. And at first, you might miss home. That's normal. But see Cuba as your new home and embrace it. And I just want to echo what Ms. Rule has said. Posting negative things about Cuba on social media should not be something coming from a student that has been given such a precious gift from the government of Cuba. To all of you, I've lived in Cuba in a total of 10 years. And at one point in time, I said, maybe I'll retire in Cuba because it's just home to me. And like everybody else studying anywhere in the world, you will have challenges. I will be there if any one of you have any questions. I will teach you. I mean, Cuba has come a very long way. The people who studied there in the 80s, thanks to Roosevelt, Douglas, and the Dominican Labour Party at the time, might have one story to tell you. Those who went in the 90s might give you another story. I personally went in 2000, and my life in 2000 compared in 2013 was completely different because it's an evolving economy. And so everybody might have a different story, but you have to learn for yourself. You have to make friends, you have to be there with the people, and you'll be successful. I just want to say congratulations again, and I want to, on behalf of the government and people of Dominica, say thank you to Cuba. Mr. Ambassador, Cuba has been a friend, and on behalf of my government, I want to tell you that we will remain friends with Cuba no matter what. Like Dr. Daru likes to say, we are not fair weather friends. Whatever it takes, we will be there.
Prime Minister Skerrit has described a package of tax concessions for taxi operators and the manufacturing sector passed in Parliament last week as indicative of his administration's flexibility. These measures were designed to improve the circumstances of citizens' lives. Parliament's approval of an amendment to the Excise Tax Act is expected to directly benefit taxi operators who will receive a 28% reduction. This on top of an already existing waiver of import duty on vehicles for tourism purposes.
This amounts to a 68% reduction in the duties. It means taxi operators are entitled to purchase 2 vehicles during a 5-year period and will be exempted from the excise tax of 28% and the import duty on a luxury vehicle, which is about 40%. This major investment at this time speaks to the flexibility of this government, even during uncertain times, to take measures that can ease the burden of tax-paying, contributing members of this country. In this particular case, we know that the tourism industry has been hard hit by COVID-19, and government is seeking any way it can to stimulate the tourism economy and ensure that our various service providers can once again realize an income. This measure, I believe, is a step in the right direction as we continue to identify ways to create new income streams for our people.
Parliament has also approved an amendment to the value-added tax, effectively granting an amnesty to taxpayers who make payments on interest on taxes owed between August 1st, 2020 and the 31st of January 2021.
I urge all concerned to take advantage of this amnesty, which comes at a time of acute stress on the economy due to the impact of the pandemic. Yet, here again, we are seeking to ease the burden on citizens, to make it easier for every Dominican to keep his head above water and businesses afloat during these trying times. We also approved an amendment that effectively removes the value-added tax on raw material, packaging and labeling material, and equipment and machinery imported for use by manufacturers. This follows on a measure announced in the 2020-2021 budget presented in July of this year. We believe that the manufacturing sector holds promise for the economy, and we hope to see small and large manufacturers make use of this relief measure to boost their production.
And Australia has detected cases of the new fast-spreading variant of coronavirus identified in the UK. 2 travellers from Britain to New South Wales were found to be carrying the mutated strain, which is said to be up to 70% more infectious than existing strains and are now in hotel quarantine. The new variant has also been identified in Denmark and the Netherlands, while Italian authorities said it had been detected in a traveller who recently returned to the country from the UK. France's health minister said on Monday it was entirely possible the new strain was also circulating there. UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock said last week that the new variant appeared to be linked to the rapid spread of new infections in London and southern England, prompting Boris Johnson to impose tougher measures across the large swaths of the country ahead of Christmas. As a result, several European countries shut their borders to UK travellers, while other nations such as Canada and Iran suspended all flights from the UK as an emergency response.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Prime Minister Skerrit says 2020 and COVID-19 hold lessons for Dominica as we reset personal and national goals. Red Cross recognizes the engine and backbone of the organization with a staff and volunteers award ceremony, and the Cuban scholarship recipients told to value the Republic of Cuba's consistent investment in Dominica's human resources. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow.